prophecy. He really believes this stuff. He's an honest man filled with integrity. So I would listen to a guy like Gerald Flurry, I think. You don't have to agree with every little thing nobody agrees with every little thing everybody says, but anyhow. Alex Jones is reporting on the push to freak out our kids. Oh, God, I can't believe these monsters they're letting talk at the Obama library. This guy, I mean, I don't know if it's a guy or a gal. It's an it, but devil horns, a whole bit mocking God with, because the rainbow, of course, symbolizes the promise God made to humanity that he'll never flood the earth, destroy the earth with flood. He'll never destroy the earth again with flood. That's the whole idea. He gave us the rainbow as his signatory. His promise was engraved in this rainbow, that his guarantee. So that's what the rainbow is always, since the Bible, the beginning of the Bible and the flood. We're going back to Genesis, okay, the first chapter in the Bible, the first book in the Bible, okay, chapter 6 in Genesis, I believe it is. So it goes way back there. But it's been usurped. Of course, this is Lucifer, Satan, the spirit thereof. This is the method of operation. There's thieves, liars, thieves. They do anything, nothing. But these are the kind of people freaking out our kids. I mean, can you imagine coming in and looking like a demon, speaking to your little kids? Little kids, I mean, in a room full of like we're talking about 4, 5, 6-year-old kids maybe younger. I don't know. But this is freaky happening at the Obama library, okay? And, Obama's wife, I don't want to comment really too much. I mean, it could be, look, 1 out of 2,000 people is born with both genders, okay? It's that simple. They got both genitalia, okay? So there's been some people making reference that had something to do with sex change. Look, no, not necessarily. Not in every case, okay? Gender reassignment. There is situations, it happens, and it's nothing to hold against anybody. It's just very unusual. It's about only 1 in 2,000 people have that situation going on. But that still adds up to a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that are having to contend with being born both male and female. Well, I mean, they're almost like a complete god, right? But it is kind of a mutation, I guess. And I don't know what kind of karmic thing is going on with a situation like that. But I'm glad that I was born fully male. And, because I just revel in the creation God gave us in a woman. I just praise him up and down, up one side, down the other for creating the woman. It's just magical, the effect that she has always had on me. Since I was a little boy, I have just marveled at the beauty of the woman. I can remember the first time my dad let me look at a Playboy in the barber shop, and I was like, whoa, wow, that's awesome, And like Don Henley says, these God's finest little creatures, man, it's the female of the species. I think this is why, women and children first. They are more important. That this is the furthering of the species. The proliferation of the species depends upon the woman. She's the one that has to pay the largest price with the pain she goes through in childbirth and all that. So you never want to marginalize the female of the species. That's definitely marginalizing God. But anyhow, I think I've talked enough about that. But yeah, this whole what they're doing to our kids, I'm not for it. Teaching them how to wank at kindergarten. I mean, I could not believe these statistics, but I know Alex doesn't make stuff up. He might be a little hyperbolic sometimes, misquote some things and exaggerate some things. But that's a generalization because sometimes he's conservative in his takes. But he doesn't lie. He's after the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth when he conveys information to the public. So I trust him, and I don't approve of what they're doing to our kids, sexualizing them. No, I leave the children alone. As long as their brains are still developing, leave them alone. Okay, I do believe in the biological maturity thing that, look, we can make all the laws in the world to protect our children, but None of them seem to be working because it's against the law. I mean, under 18, right, you're still considered a minor. But now they've legitimized abortion at 14, so they don't need parent consent. I mean, a woman can get pregnant at 14. Okay, that is pretty young. And by most people's standard, they say a little too young. Okay. But if you look at other cultures, it's very commonplace. They marry very young. It's even legal, I think, in America if they're both minors. I have some friends from high school. They ended up getting married, but the woman got pregnant very young at 15. So, I mean, let nature and God dictate when somebody's mature. But still, I understand. I respect the law and the minor thing that you got. I'm certainly not going to get in trouble. I don't care how any woman that's underage comes on to me. Nothing's going to happen. Okay, end of story. So I believe in following the law in this regard. But I'm just pointing out that nature is a more reliable rule of thumb here. So, this is what it really comes down to at the end of the day with this stuff. But yeah, let's look after our kids. Let's not let these a-hole psychopaths and sociopaths and devil worshippers, because that's what they are. Essentially, we got Satan worshippers, Lucifer worshippers that are influencing our children. I mean, this is it. This is Satan making a last-ditch effort. Very angry. Satan's enraged. Okay, it's not justified enraged, but nevertheless, it's very tangible, very real, very serious. That we are rattling Satan's cage at this point in history, not because we're trying to be troublemakers. The righteous are not trying to make trouble with Satan, but we're putting our foot down. God is empowering the righteous to put their foot down. He's saying, no, you have to do this. If you're my servant, you're going to do that. You're going to push forward. You're going to push forward. You're going to expose these people. You're going to demand progress. You're going to demand change, and that's it. End of story. We're going to move on to God's will being installed upon earth, and let the chips fall where they may in that statement. Whatever God's will is, it's going to be done. Let's just keep calling on God. It doesn't matter if you're a communist, a socialist, a capitalist, a crony capitalist, whatever. As long as your heart is good and pure and you have determined to be working for God and not good and not evil, then, okay, go forth and just let's keep pushing together, unite together against the evil forces that are opposed to humanity, opposed to God's will being installed on earth and implemented on earth. YouTube has started Jimmy rigging the search results, the algorithms, and a lot of people are complaining, like Mark Dice, and they're right. It's a bunch of bull. And maybe it should be regulated like a public utility. Okay, maybe they're right about that. I don't know all the ins and outs of this stuff because I've never monetized, never cared to really monetize it. There's plenty of monetized videos out there. Everybody and their brothers got commercials. Everybody and their brothers making money off these things. But what I do, I'd rather keep separate from how I make money. Okay, I do other things. Okay, so I want to keep it like that. But I've got to do this. This is very important to me, speaking out. It's a great sense of satisfaction I get, relief, release, joy, gratification from speaking to humanity, because that's who I'm really essentially speaking to. I just want to be a part of the conversation, and if that's on a vicarious level and I'm just in the shadows, I'm 100% good with that, because we all know who to exalt at the end of the day. I'm God's creature. I'm his child. And I just want to do what's right and proper so that I can find happiness. So I am selfish. I want to get happy. I want to be free. And in order to do that, I got to help others to be happy and to be free, to understand what the stumbling blocks are, what the obstacles are, who these culprits are, who the causers of the miseries in the world are, who's messing stuff up, who these people are, who are the flies in the ointment. Okay, the ointment being happiness for all humanity that God keeps trying to endow us with, bestow us with, and who is, blocking the way to that. And the changes are coming. It's not because of me. It's God is working. He's loving through the dough. The Spirit of truth is coming into the world. It's the light of truth, and it's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and it's descending. And if you keep fighting it, it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter for those that resist. But for those that don't resist, it's going to get good. It's going to get really good, because it's called the great and terrible day of the Lord that's ahead of us. And it's going to be a great day for the righteous. a happy, happy, joyous, celebratory day, but it's going to be a terrible, dark, horrible, troubling day for the wicked. It's their day of reckoning. It's when they got to finally pay the piper for selling their soul. Here's a word on why I believe the stock market soared after Trump was elected, because there was trillions of dollars. Remember the old